I'm working on 2 cards today, and I have the images already cut out for one of the cards. The third layer that I needed is this one right here. These 2 images are from my new upcoming paper pack called Williamsburg Memories. They go great with a couple of my sets in particular. My new set, A Bunny's Harvest, and my other kit, which is called Autumn's Gifts. So here I have the images that I need for my cards. I only needed this background and a sentiment to finish my first card, and we'll do that card together. And my second card, I decided to use these images with this background and with this sentiment. So that's all printed out and ready to go. Before I leave you, I wanted to show you what you can do to make this into a digital card, which means that you can present the entire thing here as one image layered, and then you can save it, and then you can print it out ready-made. Or you can just use it to enter into challenges or send to someone in an email as a digital card. Be sure to note, though, some of the challenges that you might enter your card into don't accept fully digital images, but many of them do. I think we're coming more and more around to the idea of digital. So I'm moving this over here to show you that you can just layer your images. I'm going to move my bunny here. Okay. If I want to move something behind the other thing, I just hit arrange and it says send backwards. Like here I sent my bunny backwards. Notice it went all the way back. If you send to the back, it goes all the way back. If you set it to send backwards, it may only go one layer at a time. You can just play with it. I'm going to undo that though because I don't want my bunny hiding. So there's my cute bunny, and now I made this sentiment. Over here there's a little icon that says fill. You go here and it gives you all kinds of choices. I have it for color. I can change the color. I can make it white. There you go. But I'm going to go back to the orange. I'm going to hit undo. And now I can just grab this and move it over here, and I have a sentiment that stands out. There's tons of colors to choose from. I think I'll stick with the gray. Okay. And I can even crop my sentiment. I think it's a little too big around the words. I don't need that much of a gray border. So I can just move this in until it looks right. Okay. There. That looks good. And now I'm going to just center it up here. So now I'm going to export this card in order to use it again. So I'm going to save it as a JPEG. I think I'm going to go to the paper pack. I'm making a new file in here and I'm calling it projects. Projects as opposed to cards because I don't always do cards, I do other projects. So now we will choose this folder and we will save Bunny in the Straw card. Now I'll go to another program, and this one is GIMP. So now we're going to go to projects, Bunny in the Straw, open that up. I'm going to crop this right down to the card, and I can make my image bigger so it makes it easier for me to see it. I'm just going to, then we go over here, image fit canvas to layers. Looks like I might have a little white around the edge, so I want to crop that off. Okay, so then you can just save this, but I'm going to export it. Saving it just leaves it in GIMP. And what will happen is you exported it out of the GIMP program. It is an actual digital now that you can open. Say, we'll go back into Open Office, go to print out your card. So I'm going to insert an image from the file. Here is the card. So now I can just do this and see how small. So we will right click and make it the size we want. Keep ratio so it doesn't change anything, and the width I want is 4. And there's my card. I can also make more than one. I could just go copy it, paste, and there are 2 cards. Isn't that great? Yeah, so you can print these out as many as you want because you've saved it. That's a digital card. And now we'll move on to the physical cards. These 2 backgrounds. I love this set. Wait till you see the other images. I believe I'm going to call it Williamsburg Memories. Yeah. So we're going to cut all of these out. The first one that I made of just the pathway there is for the card that uses these 2 that I've got cut out with the pumpkin. The one on the right, the straw, is the one that I'm going to use with the bunny and the basket. You can see that on this one I added some of my autumn treasures over the pathway, and the all these things go great together. The papers and the two stamp sets, they just go together so great because, you know, they're farm images. They're autumn images, just very rustic and a lot of fun. So this is how my card started out, and I realized it was too small. So I went ahead and printed this out to put underneath as a third layer. So I'm thinking, you know, I'll put them kind of cascading down from the left corner to the pumpkin. Yeah, like that. So cute. But I also like to play around with things because, you know, once you have them printed out, you can play with them. So here, I've got a couple printed out. So let's try it this way, or I don't know, with a pumpkin here. So yeah, you can do a lot of different things. You can put them a little bit diagonally and trim off the edges. So much to do. So this background goes with this sentiment, which comes in the Autumn Treasures with the pumpkin and the leaves. And then the bunny harvest has the basket and the bunny and some other images. Now let's go ahead and we're going to cut this out. Great, so let's move this other stuff away, and these are the ones we're going to use for this card. Yeah, I love these images together. Because they're all natural, you know, nature images, they just work so well together. I love seeing that background, and I want to see some of all the layers. Ooh. Yeah, I love the sun shining on this one. Look at that. It almost matches up. Wow, I love that. That's so cool. Wow. Maybe I don't need the wood. Oh, look at that pumpkin sitting right on that patio. Oh, my sentiment and the sun shining. I'm done. It's so simple, but very effective. Wow. I love it. I love it. So what I found when I was looking for some leaves to put on this card was an envelope of ephemera that I created with scraps, and I'm going to need to make a video, I know, to show you how I did this. And this one I used a leaf. No wonder I didn't find any laying around. I was looking for some to throw on this card. So now I'm just going to add this element that I created along with my pumpkin and my sentiment. So adorable and so easy. And I can see my background. I just love that. I can enjoy that and my handmade piece and the pumpkin that I drew and colored. So adorable. The sentiment looks good without any inking because there's so much else going on. It's just really nice to have that white space to kind of give your eye a place to rest. I am going to add some iced stickles, which I've had for virtually years, actually, literally years, I should say. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit on this leaf, rub it in round with my fingers, and a little ice on the pumpkin, a little frost on the pumpkin, and rub it around. There's really no better tool than your finger. It's God-given, the God-given tool. So here are the pieces for my other card. And I originally had cut this out with another die. Thankfully, I had a second piece that I printed out by mistake. So I was able to redo my sentiment. This die didn't look good, and the sentiment just didn't fit right. And then when I pulled off my washi tape, I ripped off part of the words. So I'm glad I had that other one. This one works much better. It's more of a simple image, which kind of goes along with that sentiment. So let's ink the edges. And there's a little white, but that's okay. The ink covers it up, and I always like to do my corners a little more. Love to ink the edges. Just gives so much dimension. And it goes perfectly with this background. Wow, I love it. Then we will layer the basket. Now you can see here, this was actually a hay bale. So you can see the hay bale twine if you look closely. The basket's going to go here, and I put it up a little higher than the bunny so it looks further away. And the bunny looks like he's right in front, up close. And my sentiment, another very easy, effective design. I like it, and the color and all the detail of the basket with the background that's all kind of muted really works. Yeah, maybe a little wood. The wood could work. No, I don't think so, but maybe just as a place to ground the basket and bunny so they don't look like they're floating. Let's try that. Yep, there it is. A little bit of wood. Doesn't that look awesome? Yeah, I love that. If you just get that top corner right, that top corner, you're all set. Wow, I love what this looks like on this craft paper. Perfect. Look how pretty they are. They're so colorful. I love them. Love them. Yeah, this one's going to need nothing because it's the perfect size. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I get to see everything that I made, and I'm so happy. And then this one, I'm just going to add a little something. How about a twine bow? Jute twine. And I love making little bows. I love making them. Mini bows, like for Barbies. And trimmed it down, and I'm just going to use a little bit of Beacon 3-in-1 glue. Any Beacon fabric glue is great. It gives you a little wiggle room, but dries fairly quickly. You don't have to wait around for an hour. I'm just going to press it on there, and I'm good. Done. Very cute. And I'm going to tuck the end of the bow behind the bunny's ear because the bunny is in front. Here we are. Just perfect. I love it.